Sizing Alpine bindings, or sizing Alpine skis, bindings, boots, and poles, and then adjusting the din for the bindings. So we'll start with getting the correct boot size. So if they come in and they know what the boot size is, awesome. If they don't, we have this little doohickey that can be found on the end of that blue bench now. There's a side for your left heel and a side for your right heel. So this is my left foot, so I'll put it in this side. Make sure they're standing flat. And this is showing me I'm about a 13.5, right? So I'm like halfway in between 13 and 14. These little things on the side, they're for measuring the width of your foot. For our purposes, since all these ski boots are the same width, it doesn't really matter since we can't do anything about the width. These ski boots are pretty wide, so they should accommodate people with wide feet. Yeah, and then so this will tell you their size in the US, and you guys already see the chart over there. So all ski boots are sized in Mondo, which is different than US. That little chart over there will tell you the conversion from US to Mondo. So if I'm a 13.5, that's about a 31.5 in ski boot size. So once you pick out the right boot size, you'll have them try it on, and they'll then slide their foot in, make sure everything's unclipped. The first thing you're going to want to do is, so this is called the power strap. You'll have them cinch down the power strap and lean into the front of the boot. This is going to set their heel in the back of the boot. So if they try on the boot and right off the bat they're like, my toes are crunched up into the front of the boot, have them do this. This sets their heel back into the boot and your toes are going to have a bit more room. If their toes are still crunched up, you can go up a half size or a full size for the boot. After you do this, you're going to buckle the boot top to bottom. This way it keeps, you always want to go top to bottom because that's going to keep your heel set in the back of the boot. And then you can make sure they stand up in the boot, flex into the front of the boot. You can have them walk around, whatever they need to do to make sure that the boot is going to work for them. After you've figured out their boot size and picked out a pair of boots, you'll take the boots from them and you will size their poles. So poles are super simple. If their arms are at a 90-degree angle, like this, that's awesome. That's the right size. If it's below a 90, if it's greater than a 90-degree angle, you need a bigger size for the poles. If it is less than a 90-degree angle, you need a smaller size. This is the biggest size of pole we have, so if you're my height or taller, this is what they're going to get. If you're taller than me, you gotta deal with it. Okay, and then on the skis. So, also on the same chart that you guys probably looked at, there's a skier weight to ski length conversion, and there's ranges of skier weight. So I weigh 200 pounds, so I would be a 178, and this is our the longest ski that we have for Alpine. I think, yeah. And then so once you have all their gear picked out, you are going to adjust their bindings. So these bindings are super nifty because they have their demo bindings, so they can accommodate pretty much any boot size. They have measurements incremented in 6 millimeters that show what boot length you're going to want to adjust it to. When you have the boots, you can look on the back of the boot here and on the bottom of the boot, and that'll show you, so this is 368, and this also says 368, that's the length of the boot sole. All the Alpine boots, you can find the boot length here or here. On the touring boots, the boot length will be right here. And on some of the Alpine boots, in addition to having the boot length here and here, it'll also have the boot length here. But you can always find it on the back of the power strap under the tip. So this is 368. So then we'll go to our, if you guys want to come in closer so you can see this, we'll go to our ski and we'll say, oh, well this is already, let me just fix this from the last time. Oh, 368. So this little lever, and you pull it with your thumb, And then once you lift it up, this can slide up to 368. Same with the back, you have this lever, move the boot up, or the heel piece up to 368. Some of the boots aren't gonna fall exactly on one of these measurements, so you kind of have to guess. Like if it's like a 372, it'll be like somewhat like halfway in between 368 and 374. Kind of like that. Then you'll clip the boot in, right? There we go. And so then you can look back in this little opening here. Can everyone see that like yellow box in the opening? So that yellow box is filling about half of that opening, right? So that means that these are adjusted correctly. If the yellow box fills more than half the opening, that means these are too close together. If it fills less than half the opening, it means these are too far apart, and then you have to make fine adjustments to the heel and the toe so that the yellow box fills about half the thing. You want to see like...
Okay, good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then, so that's especially important for like when you have a boot length that isn't going to be like on one of those measurements down there, then you want to pay attention to that yellow box. So after you do that, you'll take the boot out, and then we'll go on to adjusting the din. So, I weigh 200 pounds, I'm 6'7", I have a 368 millimeter boot length, and I'm a type 1 skier. What din do I want?
What height did you say?
6'7". It's the lowest.
What was the length again?
368. That would be if I was type 2. So if you go, so you'll be in the lowest height and the second to lowest weight.
Oh, I put the wrong one.
Yeah, you'll pick the higher one up of the two and then move along that column. And greater than 331 insole. So I would be a 5.5. So then we'll get a Phillips head screwdriver, and there's a Phillips head screw on the front of the toe here and on the back of the heel. And then we'll put this in, and if you're making it tighter, the din is going up. Making it looser, the din is going down. So can everyone see this little like black line in there? So that shows you what the din is set to. So see, and then when I like start twisting this, that black line is moving, right? And then I would adjust that to 5.5. Same thing in the heel. There's a thing back here. Same little adjuster thing here. Put this in and then move it around until I get to 5.5. And that's pretty much it. Any questions?